All right, let's talk about this $1,000 a week, drama thing that every new driver has. That they think about when they come into trucking for the first time. Can you make $1,000 as a new truck driver fresh out of school in a week? Especially here at TRANSAM. I want to talk about TRANSAM because we know the pay scales here at TRANSAM. This is where we work, and what's been going on. Now, there's been a week where I hit $1,400 in 1 week, and it's in on that video it was creating quite some mixed feelings. Some people were saying, "Oh, that's impossible." They were running as lease drivers, and that wasn't working. That was not what their paychecks were looking like. Not everybody is the same, you know what I mean? I made it. I have no reason to lie. Let me just put that out there from now. As time goes by, and I get more familiar with this thing that I'm using to edit my videos, when I get to edit a video, I'm actually going to put the actual paycheck out there and show it to you guys, how what was on the paycheck and how much I actually got paid. It was $1,417 in 1 week. That's what I made, you know what I mean? And it was quite an uproar. But can you make $1,000 in a week at TRANSAM? Fresh out of CDL school, just coming in the game with no experience going out there. My answer to that question is what I think here at TRANSAM it's not so possible. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say that, being fresh like a newbie, it's not even like you're working here 5-6 months or whatever the case is. And I'm gonna tell you the difference between why I said that. Being fresh out of school, you have no experience. You don't get. Remember, TRANSAM no longer has mentors that you're going out there with. If you get the chance to go out there with a mentor, they're going to teach you the clock. Even though they show you at the terminals, the basics, you know what I mean? That's still not like what the actual thing is when you go out there. You know what I mean? It's much different when it's a whole different ball game. Learning how to use the clock. You're going to trip your clock, first thing. If you're driving on the 5 miles per hour to park or whatever, you know what I mean, it won't set the clock off. But you're going to be trying to move in the truck, it's going to trip the clock, then it's going to ruin your clock. There's been times where I've been off for like 9 hours and like 45 minutes. I have literally 15 minutes or however much minutes left, to get through to the 10-hour break, and they tell me that I gotta move the truck from point A to point B, and just trying to move the truck really slow, I accidentally tripped my clock. It ruined my entire time. I had to sit back over again because I had run my full clock before. So I don't think I could have done like a split, deleted it or do a split, you know what I mean? So therefore it ruined my entire day. So that's one example. Being fresh, you don't know how to use the clock. You're gonna run out of drive time. You're not familiar with all the forms you gotta send. Each time you gotta send them. I remember when I had just came out there on my own, like outside of my mentor's truck, and I was on my own. It was really rough at first. There was days where I pulled into truck stops, and I couldn't find parking because obviously I had just started and I wasn't, like all that good in parking the truck. You know what I mean? So I had to try to find like a easy parking. You know what I mean? So those are factors that are gonna contribute to you not making as much miles. And if you're not making as much miles, obviously you're not gonna be grossing, netting, not even gross. You're not gonna be able to net $1,000 after taxes. You know what I mean? So those are just some of the factors that's gonna help. And the next thing for you to hit $1,000 gross, let's just say gross, not even net, you have to run at least 3,000 about 200 miles. I put it there. You know what I mean? You guys could do the calculation, like 31 cents, because you could still have loads in between that pays like stops. You know what I mean? And then the stop will probably bring the pay up. You know what I mean? So you got to run a lot of miles. So you being fresh out of CDL school, first time in the truck on your own, the planner is not giving you 3,000 miles right off the bat. You know what I mean? So it's going to be real difficult for you to make that kind of money fresh out the game. You know what I mean? Just coming out there in the truck. And then, like I said, you're gonna have times where it's really hard for you to maneuver the trucks. You're gonna have it's rough when you just get out there. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? It's rough when you just get the truck for yourself and you start going to shipper. I remember the first place they sent me. Some of you guys out there that drives for TRANSAM or drove before for TRANSAM before, you probably know there is this and I got a video on my channel with it too also. It's in a cave. It's in Kansas. It's a shipper in a cave. That's the first load that I got. When I'm like, bro, this is the most difficult place that I've ever had to maneuver the truck in. Because if you see the way that you gotta back into the docks, it is ridiculous under that cave, man. It is stupid. You know what I mean? So some of you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. The next topic that I wanted to touch on real quick before I go, because I don't want to make this video too long, is homeboy was debating and saying, oh, you know, he was a lease driver at TRANSAM and he didn't make over $700 and he stayed here for a year, and how could people survive off $700 or whatever a week? Let me tell you this, you got cats out there that are at different company that are making like $300, $400, $500 a week, $600, and they're still surviving. You know what I mean? Just because you're working at TRANSAM right now and you're making X amount of money, it doesn't mean that's where you're gonna retire in trucking. You know what I mean? You know how the game is. You know? I'm sorry. You know how the game is. Like, you know how the game is. Like, you gotta start somewhere, you gotta get some experience, and then you move on to a different company where it's gonna pay you more for that experience, and then you'll be able to make more. I'm sure you watching this video right now, like, you're making more than what you used to make at TRANSAM, right? So if you're making more now than you were at TRANSAM, wouldn't you just go to the company that you're at right now before you had came to TRANSAM and make all those whatever paychecks you made? You probably didn't go because you needed experience to get there, or you didn't find out about the company as yet. But there's a high chance they're gonna need experience. You're gonna need experience to make. The more experience you have in the game, the more money you can possibly make. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that. That's a rule to trucking. You can make good money, yeah, if you start out, like, if you know somebody. If I own my own truck and we friends like that, or we family like that, you know what I mean, and I give you my truck, you know what I mean, put you out there right off the bat, then, you know, you can make good money right off the bat being a newbie. But coming up in the game, you know how it works. You feel me? So you gotta basically make these whatever and figure paychecks before you can get up to the level of making the paychecks that you actually want to make. You feel me? That's just my take on there. And there's drivers here at TRANSAM, like I said, I know there's a couple of guys they've been here for like years, bro, like 7 years. Like, they even have the older, like, it's not a W900, but the older Kenworths. You know what I mean? So you can tell those guys been here like a long time. If they weren't making money, they would not be here, dog. Like, I'm telling you, there is a way to make money in this company. I know that for a fact, because I get mixed vibes from the lease operators. For the most part, I ain't gonna lie, they say they don't make any money. On the other hand, they say they make money. I did a relay the other day. You guys know, I was in my last video, I told you guys they put me on a dedicated account, which I'm going to do some reviews on, but I can't give you guys much information other than what I gave you. I can't tell you what it's like, because I just got on there like a week now. You know what I mean? So as time goes on, if I do stick around, I'm gonna do some reviews and let you guys know how it is, what it's like on a dedicated account, how much different it is, if it's better from other than the company when I was just a regular company driver. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do all that, but for right now I can't do it, you know what I mean? But for you guys that are at TRANSAM right now making whatever you're making, you know, comment down below and let me know if you guys are making good paychecks, or if you're not paychecks, if you guys felt like, if you guys left TRANSAM and it's not working out, it wasn't working out for you. Comment down below, let me know what's going on. I told you guys I started my channel to help you guys put the information out there so you can get, you know what you're coming into before you come to TRANSAM. And I don't want that same person that was, you know, commenting and saying why this at TRANSAM, why would you stick around at TRANSAM. Sometimes people need a start, you know what I mean? I'm not saying TRANSAM is the only company that you can go to or you should come to TRANSAM. I'm saying if you're coming to TRANSAM, or if you're already here, you know what I mean, then you just gotta deal with it. You know what I mean? Because I read all the reviews, I watched all the videos on Google, on YouTube before I came out here, and I seen what they were like. They weren't good. I still came. I'm still here 6 months plus. There's better employment opportunities out there that I could probably go into right now. There's a few reasons why I haven't moved on. You know what I mean? One of those reasons, I wanted to go local. So if I get a good enough local job that's gonna accept me, then I'll go local, you know what I mean? If not, then I'd rather stay OTR. I could go to Crete and Schaefer with 4 months experience. But I chose not to because they wanted me to go back to 6 weeks of going on the road with a mentor. And with the pay and all that, and it's just like, and then you got to go through the whole orientation and the week, and I'm just like, I might as well just stick it out here. You know what I mean? Or if I get a small company, you know what I mean, some like you homeboy was saying, one out of Chicago, somebody was telling me about like out of New York, small company. If I get a small company that's gonna pay me good money, probably on a 1099 instead of a W2, then yeah, I'll jump ship, you know what I mean? But there's certain reasons why I kind of stick around at TRANSAM. And the good part about this whole thing is I'm still gaining experience and it still looks good on my resume. So if the dedicated account works out in my favor and I'm actually making money, then I can stick around for at least 6 more months and get a full year at one company. You know what I mean? And it slipped me earlier, as I was gonna say, I did a relay since I've been on a dedicated account, and I asked the guy how long he's been working at TRANSAM, and he said a little bit over a year. I said, "You're a Lease?" He said, "Nah, he's a company driver." I said to him, like, "How are you at TRANSAM? You're the first person I heard as a company driver that's here this long." He said he's on a dedicated account. I said, "Oh." So I started questioning. I asked him, like, "How is a dedicated account? Is it really what they say it is?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's been running it for I believe he's going on 6 months now since he's been on the dedicated account, but he's been with TRANSAM for a whole year as a company first, and then to the dedicated. And he was saying if you run 2,500 miles, then you're gonna see a paycheck after taxes for $1,100. You know what I mean? $1,100 is not the best paycheck in the world, but it's still a good paycheck. You know what I mean? And my miles are usually over 2,500 for the week for the most part. Only like if something crazy or something happens, but for the most part, my miles are always up. My driver manager always keeps me moving. She always looks out for me. So that's all I gotta say on that. If you guys are inspired in any way, shape, or form by my videos, feel free to like the video, you know what I mean, subscribe, click the notification bell, so when I drop a video, you guys will know I'm gonna start dropping more content. At least right now I drop videos like every week. I'm gonna start dropping at least like 2 videos per week, so you guys can get more updates on what's going on here at TRANSAM. If you guys are sitting at the crib thinking about coming at TRANSAM and you're inspired by my videos or anything like that, you're inspired by my channel in general, and you want to come to TRANSAM, I spoke to who did I speak to? I think it was a driver manager when they called me for a relay, and I asked them like how the referral program works. If you come here, you do the lease. I believe it's six. I believe no. If you come here and you do the lease, it's $300 for a referral. I get $300 for a referral, so I give you $150. You get yourself a cash app. You comment down below, or you add me on Instagram or whatever. You just let me know that you use me as a referral. My name, you're gonna put my name down, Jevaughn, truck number 13916. Use me as a referral. I give you half or whatever I get. If you come here with no experience as a newbie fresh out of school, I believe it's $75. You guys can confirm all this information when you're doing your application. $75. Whatever it is, I give you guys half. This way, I make something, you make something, you get the information, you know what I mean, that I'm putting out there. So help the channel to grow, guys. Subscribe, you know, hit the like button and drop your comments and your thoughts down below, because I like to interact with you guys out there and let me know what's going on. Peace out. Be safe.